I'm George, co-founder of SoloSuit, and I'm going to show you guys out there in Illinois how to respond to a debt collection lawsuit. All right, first thing to know is that your deadline is 30 days. That means from the day you get served, you only have, usually in most cases, about 30 days to respond to the lawsuit. Otherwise, you automatically lose the case. All right, so that is for primarily lawsuits that are for more than $50,000. Okay, so if you get sued for more than $50,000, you have 30 days after the date you are served to file a response with the court. The 30 days include weekends, holidays, court holidays. If the last day falls on a day that the court is closed, then you have until the next day that the court is open to file. All right? If the lawsuit is for less than $10,000, which probably the majority of people out there watching, lawsuit is for less than $10,000, then you need to show up in court on the day listed on the summons. All right, so that means you take a look at the summons, you have to show up on that day. Then the judge will give you a date you need to file the answer by. Usually that's about 10 days after. All right, so if you're sued $10,000, read the summons, show up on that day in the summons, and you usually have about 10 days after that to file an answer. All right, so you might be wondering, well, what if I'm not sued for over $50,000? I'm not sued for under $10,000? Well, the answer to that is really nobody knows. All right? The answer is just on your summons. You just got to take a look at the summons and figure out what that says, what you need to do. The Supreme Court of Illinois says what you have to do is you just have to read the summons and do whatever it says in that summons. Okay? So now that's out of the way, we're just going to be going over 3 steps for how to respond to the debt collection lawsuit. All right? Step number 1 is to start your answer. Step number 2 is to make your affirmative defenses. And step number 3 is to file your answer with the court. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to go over all 3 of those steps. I'm going to show you how to do it. If this is sounding a little bit complicated, right, you can just go over to solosuit.com. We file for people in Illinois all the time. You can go through our website, generate a response to the complaint and summons, and then we'll have an attorney review the document and we'll file it for you. Again, that's solosuit.com. So, step number 1, create your answer document to the summons. Okay, so in Illinois, you know you're being sued if you receive a document that looks like this. This is a complaint document. It tells you why you're being sued. You also receive a summons document, and that tells you that you're being sued. Usually the summons will have instructions on how to respond. Okay, so generally how to respond is you have to create an answer document to respond to that complaint and summons. The answer document, you'll respond to every paragraph laid out in the complaint. And you can respond to each paragraph in one of 3 ways. First, you can admit it, and that means you agree with everything in the paragraph, or you can deny it, which means you disagree with something, or you can deny for lack of knowledge. That means you don't know. Okay, and this is what your answer document can look like if you use solosuit.com. So, step number 2, assert your affirmative defenses. All right, this is the fun part. This is when you get to tell your side of the story. This is when you get to say why the debt collector should lose the case. All right, some common affirmative defenses are saying things like you don't owe the money, you're not the owner or co-signer on the account, the lawsuit is an error. You could say like the contract is canceled. You know, like I had a contract with this guy, but he never performed his services, so I canceled that contract. You don't owe him any money. Okay, you could also say you have proof that the debt was paid. Let's say you had like a T-Mobile bill, you actually paid it. T-Mobile just sucks at keeping records and they sue you for the debt. You can just say, hey, I have a record, I actually paid the debt. I don't owe them any money. Another defense would be you are a victim of identity theft. That one's like pretty common. All right, somebody steals your identity, they rack up a bunch of bills on a credit card, and then you end up getting sued for that credit card debt. That's a bad situation. You have to make that as an affirmative defense. All right, so something to make clear is that your affirmative defenses are literally a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. If you don't make them now, you can't make them later. The only time you can make them is on the answer document when you're filing the answer to respond to the complaint. All right, so it's very important that you do it right. One of the most important affirmative defenses is a statute of limitations. So now I'm going to tell you guys about the statute of limitations in Illinois, okay? The statute of limitations is just that. It is a statute, a law, that limits the amount of time that somebody can bring a lawsuit against you. Okay, in this case, we're talking about lawsuits for debt collection in particular. So how the statutes in Illinois work is they break it down into different sections, and they talk about different types of debts that people can sue you for. All right, so first up, oral debt. This is if you agree to a contract verbally, then the statute of limitations is 5 years, right? So that means after 5 years, you can't be sued for a debt that you agreed to pay orally. I don't know many people out there who are agreeing to debts or agreeing to contracts verbally. Well, that's the case for this. So next up, written debt. Statute of limitations for that is 10 years. That's a long time. So that means if you have oftentimes a contract that you signed, statute of limitations is going to be 10 years. You can be sued for up to 10 years after that debt has begun. You can be sued. That's a tough spot to be in. Next up is mortgages. Mortgages can be usually 10 years, but also sometimes it can be 5 years. It kind of depends. Sometimes it can be determined as like a written contract, sometimes not. Auto loans, statute of limitations on auto loans is 4 years. Statute of limitations on open debt, that's like a store credit or a revolving account, that's 5 years. Important thing to know about statute of limitations is that it starts ticking from the last time you made a payment on the debt. Okay, so let's say you had like an auto loan, you're paying it up until January 2020. Last time you made a payment was January 2020. That means 4 years after January 2020, after that has passed, you can't be sued for that debt any longer. Credit card debt, statute of limitations is 5 years. That's a really important one for our customers. Most of our customers at SoloSuit come to us to respond to debt collection lawsuits for like MasterCard, Visa, Discover, American Express. You know the drill. All right, next up is court judgments. Court judgment statute of limitations, 20 years. That's a long time. All right, so what is a court judgment? That's what happens if you lose your debt collection lawsuit. If you had a credit card debt, statute of limitations was like 5 years, then you get sued for it, you lose, now statute of limitations is 20 years. They just got extended 20 years for how long that person can collect the debt against you. All right, so that's a bad situation. That is, again, one of the big reasons why you want to use SoloSuit to respond. Step 3. All right, so this is step 3. File your answer with the court, mail a copy to the other party. All right, this is an essential step. Oftentimes we find that it's like the hardest step. So Illinois has mandatory e-filing. That means you have to file it online. It sounds like a nice thing, but actually it's kind of hard because you have to use their kind of complicated government like retro filing system, all right? So you got to go online, file online. And then there you'll be able to file the copy with the court and you'll be able to use it to serve the opposing attorney as well. So it's important to note that in Illinois, the courts charge filing fees. We're going to go over those right now. There are 23 judicial circuit courts in Illinois. These courts are general jurisdiction. That means they hear all civil actions, including debt collection. Okay, civil actions can be heard in the following divisions or departments. They can be heard in like the law division of the Circuit Court of Cook County. They can be heard in all the different types of courts at Cook County. They hear civil suits for the recovery of monetary damages in excess of $30,000 in the city of Chicago or in excess of $100,000 in the suburban districts. They also hear different types of administrative reviews. The municipal department of the Circuit Court of Cook County is made up of 6 districts, which geographically divide Cook County as follows. First, you got the municipal district, which includes the city of Chicago. Then you got the second municipal district, which includes the northern suburban Cook County. Third municipal district, northwestern suburban Cook County. Fourth municipal district includes western suburban Cook County. Fifth municipal district includes southwestern suburban Cook County. Sixth municipal district includes southern Cook County. All right, that was a mouthful. Hopefully that's valuable information to you guys so you know what court you're supposed to be sued in or what court your case should be in. So again, Illinois charges filing fees. The fee structures in Illinois are elaborate. Cook County is one of the largest unified court systems in the world. So all circuit court charges a fee to answer except for Cook County. They have an appearance, a notice of appearance fee. Okay, and I'm going to go over those right now. So appearance fee for small claims in the municipal department, you have to pay $151 to file that document. Appearance fee for civil municipal department, $251. Appearance fee for self-represented litigants in civil and municipal department, it's $151 if the lawsuit is less than $2,500. It's $251 if the lawsuit is between $2,500 and $3,000. Then the appearance fee for civil law division, $251. All right, that's a lot of information for you guys. Again, you can just go over to solosuit.com and use our site to respond to the lawsuit for you. It makes life a lot easier. Right? That's why we have over 100 5-star reviews. Go ahead and check us out.